Hi everyone, Karen from Stitches and Things. We are in lovely Meetung in Victoria. What I want to talk to you today is the year coming up that we are working with CraftAlive, doing, I think I've got 9 shows booked and I'm so excited. First one coming up is Albury-Wodonga and then Ballarat. And as the season goes on, we will travel as far as Brisbane, Canberra, Adelaide, Hobart, and most of the places in between. So I'm really quite excited. This year we've changed our format a little bit and we're going to do a lot more classes. So that means in the past we've done 1 class each day and I've had to leave the site. This year we've extended our site where we're trading and we can do classes on site, and we'll do 4 classes each day. But the other beautiful thing about having the classroom on our actual site is that anything you buy that you think you may have trouble with, I can sit down with you. If there's time, we can have a look at the pattern that you're looking at doing and talk through it, and I can give you a hand. I will have some samples to play with, and we can work on things that maybe you think you can't manage, but I'm sure that I can show you that you can. So let's just quickly run through the classes that we're going to be doing, just to give you an idea and a little snapshot of some of the things that we have cooked up for you for this year of CraftAlive. Now here at Stitches and Things, I write a lot of my own patterns. So when new yarn comes, I really love to pick up a ball of yarn and have a look at it. And sometimes it can take some time, but I really like to almost get the ball of yarn to tell me what it wants to be. And that usually ends up being something fabulous that's really suited to that yarn. So because of that, we tend to I don't sell my patterns. So generally, because we've made a pattern specifically for a particular yarn, I will sell you the yarn and you can have your pattern for free. So I don't tend to sell the patterns because the patterns are for specific yarns and we want to see you get the result that we got when we made it up. So I am wearing a hexagon cardigan. Now this is not reinventing the wheel. The hexagon cardigan, they are all over the internet. But I had a look at some of the hexagon cardis and a lot of them have massive sleeves on them to get the body to fit you. The sleeves were huge. So I've developed a formula to get a hexagon cardi that actually fits. And I've made a little miniature one, which is held together with little clips and stuff, so that you can see how all the parts work and how we've made it fit. And I've got there's a few more hexagons that I've made showing you the different elements of the garment. So they start off as a hexagon, then we extend the body, then we extend the sleeves, we extend the bottom. But it is really, really simple. And it is your traditional granny stitch with your 3 Australian trebles, or if you're into American crochet, your double crochets. It is very, very simple and so easy to adapt. And the cool thing is you can make it right up from a baby to a large adult. So the garment I'm wearing now started exactly the same as this one did, down here at the underarm, and it gets bigger, 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 bigger. So I'm going to explain to you how we did this, how easy it is to make your own, and how easy it is to adapt it to fit your body shape. So this one is a super fun one. So if you're new to crochet or you want to make a garment that's brain dead easy, the hexagon cardi is just such a fabulous garment. Now you can make your own for under $50. So that's a really good deal. And that's an adult. Like I'm wearing lady size 14 and I had enough yarn left. I think I've made three of these with what was left. So I only used, I've used Patent Sierra, just went into the 4th ball. So there was most of a ball left. So you can make them longer. You can turn them into a coat. I've got one hanging up here that's a crop. So really, really quite easy. So that's our first class. Our next class is a new one that we've come up with. Fiddlesticks brought out, so those of you who are familiar with Fiddlesticks are familiar with Fiddlesticks Superb 8, and there are, I think some of them are behind me. Whoops. There are 80 odd colours in their acrylic range, so it's an 8-ply acrylic in plain colours. Well, this year they brought out one called Paint, which knits up in a bit of a shading. I've got a little garment here. So there's a little child's garment. So you can see how it knits up. It's not a typical variegated that's got all the mixed up colours. So it knits up in a shading. This is one of the kits that you can buy at the show with just 2 balls, and your pattern's free for that one. And that one's called Cutie Pie. So you can find this one on the web. But what we've done with one of these and one plain is we've made a scarf that we have called Painted Ripples. Now this one is quite leery, but there are plenty of more subdued colours in the range. And this is a class that we're going to do to show you how to do this drop. We call it a drop stitch. So we're going to show you how to do it, and it is so easy. There's no increasing or decreasing in this pattern, and there is there's no purl. It is all the knit stitch, so it is dead simple. And once we've shown you how to do it, and you can have a practice on my samples, you'll be able to make your own painted ripples. And the kit for that, oh, there you go. The kit for that's only $20. So for $20, you can make yourself, and this is quite a long scarf. Hang on, I'm hooked up. This is quite a long scarf. So, yep, that's down to my knees with the for the $20 pack. So that's pretty good. So keep an eye out for that one, Painted Ripples. Our next class we're going to do, so that was a knit one. This one's obviously crochet. Crochet is very big this year. The next one we're going to do is this one we've called the Gypsy Cowl. I'm just going to take this off and I'm going to pop the Gypsy Cowl on. So the Gypsy Cowl, I'm sorry, it's got tickets on it. The Gypsy Cowl is really nice to wear under a coat. It's great around your neck. You haven't got too much bulk. It isn't going to fly off. And I don't know about you, but I get a really cold chest and I end up with asthma. So this is really good in that respect. So what we've used for this one is the Fiddlesticks Superb Paint and 2 plain colours. So, and then we've got all sorts of textures. We've put popcorns and puffs and front post crochet and back post crochet in this. So what we're going to show you for this class is how to crochet popcorns, and we're going to show you how to crochet puffs, and also your see that little shell there, how it's all kind of textured. So we're also going to show you how to do that texture so it's front post or back post crochet in the class. I can also, if you can't read a pattern, I can also help you understand how crochet patterns work, and that's very helpful. Now this one actually worked up really quick. I think I made this in 2 nights, and I enjoyed it so much I made one in a different colorway. Just hold on and I'll find it. I don't like this colorway as much, but it has sold well. For those of you that love the alternative, the cooler colors. This one is quite leery, and there are plenty of colours in between. There's some lovely naturals. There's tons of colours. So if you don't like anything around your neck, you can make this neck piece a bit lower, because this is the last thing that gets put on. But it does look just as fabulous, and you can see all the texture in that. A lot of people are scared of texture. It is fun. It is fun. And the pattern is quite easy to follow. So that one there in the classes, I think it's called Crocheting Popcorns, Puffs and Textures in Crochet. So that's a fabulous class. The 4th class is one that scares an awful lot of people that freak out when I say, you can knit this, but it's knitted in the round. Now, if you are petrified of knitting in the round, whether it be on double pointed needles or with a circular, I'm going to show you how to be the boss of your circular needles. When I'm knitting anything in the round, I never use double points. We use our circular needles to cast on our band, if I'm knitting a beanie, of course, and we can use the same circular until we get right down to this very last few stitches, using a technique called magic loop. And I'm going to show you how to use your circulars, how to join in the round, how to work around and around and around. We're going to talk about how you adapt a pattern that is flat to something that can be worked in the round. And I'm going to show you how to use the same needle to get right up to the top. So what happens with a lot of knitting patterns, maybe a garment will tell you that it needs straight needles for the body. Then it goes on to a yoke, so it says it wants a circular for that. And then it tells you it wants to knit the sleeves in the round, and it wants you to use double pointed for your sleeves. So that's 3 sets of needles, and sometimes it's even more sets of needles, because it might be that your band is a smaller size, so you might need 2 sets of double points. You might need 2 sets of straights and 1 set of circular needles. So that's a lot of needles for one project. So if I told you that you could knit backwards and forwards on your circular, you can knit round and round on your circular, you can knit your neck with your circular, and you can knit the sleeves with the same circular you knitted your body in, you're saving heaps. So it's such a great system, but so many people are scared of it. We do a lot of blankets. There's a green one at the top of the picture up there, 270 odd stitches. So there's no way that you could do that with regular needles. You would have to do it in strips or squares, but we can cast that on and work backwards and forwards. And I'm surprised how many people, as soon as you say it's on circulars, like, no, I can't use circulars. They absolutely just can't do it. It just doesn't, their head just does not compute how it can possibly work. They just think that it's some voodoo thing. So let me show you how to be the boss of your circulars, and I'll show you a lovely circular system that we use that really makes knitting so easy. Now, for me, I like to knit in the round, because if I knit a beanie in the round, there's a couple of things I really like. Every round knit makes stocking stitch, which means I don't have to do any purl. I don't have to turn and go back the other way, and I don't have a seam. So once I'm done, I sew up my thread from here and my thread from here, bombs away, we are done. So yeah, so that's our last class, is the be the boss of your circular needles, and I'm really looking forward to that, because that's one of those aha moments that people have when we're knitting with circulars, when people are really scared of them. So that's something that's quite fun to look at. Now, while I'm hanging on to this beanie is one of my beanies out of the Build a Beanie book. So 2 years ago, I wrote a book called Build a Beanie, and this is one of the designs out of it. Now, what I've done, hang on, I'm going to talk to you about the beanie first. What I've done is I've written the book so every pattern is 8-ply. Every pattern can be knitted flat or round. So if you are petrified of knitting in the round, you can knit it flat, or you can knit it round. So every pattern is flat or round, and every pattern is baby up to man. Now, I wrote this book specifically because a lot of people would pick up a man's pattern and go, oh, what a shame that isn't in children's sizes. Or they'd pick up a pattern that was circular and go, oh, I hate circulars. I really wish it wasn't circular. So I've tried to address that issue, where every pattern works for everybody, and it's really fabulous. But the most fun thing, and the reason why I've called Build a Beanie, is because I've made it so that every band fits every body and fits every crown. So you pick your band, you pick your body, and you pick your crown, and you can build a combination of different bands for different bodies and for different crowns. So the book has split sections in it, so you can choose all your elements, and once you've chosen your elements, you've got all your patterns there to do them. So so all your patterns are there. So I've got I think 6 crowns, 10 bodies, and I think there's 7 or 8 bands, from plain to fancy. Look, we haven't reinvented the wheel with the patterns, but what we have done is made everything fit everything, and that's been absolutely sort of a game changer. People have picked that book up. With the plain ones, you can put your own pattern in them. So I've used a principle there and a formula, and it just works. So that's really quite good. And we sell the books for $15. So because I've self-published them, because it's something I'm hoping I can add on and improve, I haven't taken it to a publisher yet, but we'll see how we go with that. I'm just going to run through some of the other things that we'll be bringing to CraftAlive, because obviously we're not just teaching. We're going to be trying to get you to take home kits, and I love developing kits. This one, and I'm going to show you a couple of new ones if I can find what I've done with them. This one we've called our coffee bag. Now, I've had this one out for about 2 months, and it is a really quick and easy crochet. What we do is we supply you with the base, which is a recycled coffee bag. I have a friend who is in the coffee roasting business, and she has all these bags. So I bought a whole lot off her, and I've cut them up and sewn them. And there's one that hasn't got the crochet on it. So every bag is slightly different, because some of them have a hole in them and I have to cut them around. You know, I just have to jiggle them around. This one's got a logo. I try and make good placement of the logos. So for your kit, you get the ready-made Hessian bag. You get your crochet cotton, which is Fiddlesticks Finch 10-ply, and you get your pattern. And my granddaughter can crochet, but she can't really read a pattern too well. And we got her through this really well, and it came out fabulous. In fact, I was really happy how well it came out for her, considering I tried not to butt in too much, which can be really hard when you're in my situation, not butting in too much when you can see someone sort of young working. But it came out great, and I was really happy. So it is relatively easy. Your crochet hook gets stuck straight through the Hessian, so you actually crochet the first round straight through the Hessian, and it's got a shoulder length bag. But I just love the fact that we're recycling something. So the coffee bags are rather a fun thing, and the reason why I've called it the coffee bag is because they are actually coffee bags. And I was just cutting up some earlier, and there was a couple of beans in them. Now, you expect coffee beans to be brown, but turns out they're white. So yes, so there was, I'm thinking, what is that that's falling out? And it was, oh yeah, a couple of white coffee beans that obviously hadn't been roasted. The couple of other kits that I've got. Now, this one we took this one last season. This is the Fiori scarf. Now, I don't have the, oh yes, I do. Hold on. The Fiori scarf was massively popular last year, and this was one of the classes that we did, and absolutely amazingly popular. $18 for the kit to make it, and that's one of the kits that we will bring along, and that's called Fiori. Patchwork bag. I've got samples everywhere, as you can imagine. So that's the patchwork bag. So that's a lovely one. So that comes in a kit form as well. So they're 2 knitted kits. I've done this season also this chunky one called Starburst. Now, Starburst, there we are. So I just wanted, instead of doing your plain granny, I wanted to do something that was circle into square. It's just a little more interesting. So it means that they're still really quick to work up. And I think I made, now this scarf is quite long. So this one is, or this one's nearly down to my ankles. So that's quite a long scarf. So I think it's got 11 squares. So we've made this out of 2 balls of Peyton Sierra Chunky? Sierra Big? Anyway, the chunky Sierra. So I think it costs you about $23, $24 to make this scarf. It's very, very soft. every square is the same, and I've actually crocheted them together as we go, so you don't have to sew the squares up. But I really quite like the circle into square. I must say that I did pull the first one out about 25 times, trying to make the yarn go further, because chunky yarn can be quite hungry when you come to crocheting. So I was trying to get the most out of the yarn. So that one's called Starburst. That's a lovely crochet project. The other crochet project that we've just introduced for this season is, this one's called Mini Marble. Now these ones, this isn't the right colorway, but that's a product called Mini Marble, and on the table here, that's your marble. So it's cotton and acrylic. It's 78% cotton. Really, really nice to work with. But my experiment was I wanted to see how far one of these little packs would go. And there are 60 little squares in this scarf. So the two colours, the centre and the next one, there's 60 that size. I got 60 out of here. So each one made 2 rounds of granny squares, and I was absolutely gobsmacked by how far the one little ball went. I thought, I just couldn't believe that it went that far. And then we've done a join as you go technique with the plain, with the marble plain, to join it as you go. So there isn't any sewing up with this one, but a fun technique to crochet them all together at the end. So you put the border on and crochet them together as you go. So and that's called the Mini Marble Scarf. So that's a new project for this year. And I do have a YouTube video out on the joining if you get stuck with joining this one. So I do have quite a few YouTube videos. There is one out on this one as well. So quite a few YouTube videos on some of the ones that I've done, just because some of them can seem daunting. But if you get lost, then I can help you as much as possible by sticking video up on YouTube. It's probably not quite the season, but this garment last season, which was a chunky cardigan called, hold on, my court. This one we've called Bates Ombre. So it's knitted with 9mm needles. It knits up super fast. It's super chunky, super squishy, and super warm. $68.50 to make, and it's a substantial cardigan. Like it's a very trendy, lovely, huge cardigan, and it's got that sort of ombre shady effect. I will have kits at the shows for this. I think I've got 4 colorways. This one is our sample colorway. There's one called I think this one's called Ocean. I have a denim, so it starts with a denim blue and has some other colors through it. I have one called Lipstick, which is obviously a really soft pink with other pinks through it. And I have a natural, so it's a sort of a light browny colour with other natural colours. So there are 4 colours in that Bates Ombre, and this one was hugely popular as we introduced this at the end of last season. And my friend Janice, who knitted this sample up for me, she knitted the back of this, and there's a fair bit of back there. She knitted the back of this in one night, and she's not a super fast knitter. She's a plotter, but she did manage to knit that up in one night, the back. So it does knit up really quick. So if you want to knit a garment in a week, and you can certainly do that with that one. I've still got lots of kits, but I'm running out of time now. So let's just have a look at some of the fancy yarns that you'll find on our site at CraftAlive. This one is Crazy Zauber Ball. It is a sock yarn, but we do use it for lots of other things. This is one ball in a scarf. I have 4 or 5 different free patterns available with this, crochet and knitted patterns. And any of these patterns, again, if you look at that and go, oh, no, I couldn't do that, I'm more than happy to sit down with you and help you out with figuring out how that's going to work. A new yarn that was introduced last season was Fiddlesticks Jester, and that is a Fair Isle sock yarn, and the price on that's really quite good for a pair of socks. It's probably the most cost-effective sock yarn on the market at the moment. You'll make a pair of socks for just under $20 with that, and it does feel nice. We always bring the opal. You can't go wrong with opal sock wool. And this one is a new yarn to the market, and this is alpaca socks. Most alpaca sock yarns are hand wash, which to me is pointless with socks. You have to be able to throw them in the washing machine. This is machine washable. So yes, alpaca socks, and one ball will make a pair of socks. And of course, I always bring some hand dyed. This one is Malabrigo sock. I have, oops, it's tangled up. I have Malabrigo in the lace, and I have Malabrigo in 10 ply. And if you're a lover of Malabrigo, it's getting a little hard to get. It's only coming into Australia twice a year. So if you can nab Malabrigo, put it in your stash, because it's getting really quite hard to get. And then I have this Divine. This yarn's actually called Fiori. So this is Fiori sock. And one ball is 400 meters. You can get a pair of socks. I don't like to knit socks in this because it's too delicious, and it needs to be around your neck, not on your feet, in my opinion. So that's some of the sock yarns we have. Now, sock yarns, obviously, the best part about sock yarns is they are machine washable. They are durable, but I reckon 80% of the sock yarns we sell, people make them into other things, and I have got quite a lot of free patterns for a lot of those other things that we do. Sorry, excuse me for darting around. I'm just having a look at my little piles of things that that I've still got left to show you before my time is up. So the other thing with any of our CraftAlives, if there's something that you want me to bring along, or if you're not sure that I'm bringing, I obviously have limited space. You can email me, message me, ring me, and say, are you bringing this? And if I say no, I can always bring it for you. I can always put it in the pack. This is one of the King Cole yarns. This is right chunky. We make a gorgeous handbag kit out of this one. That is really fun because we use the knitting needles that you knit it with to make the handles. So it's got knitting needle handles. And my last one, I'm going, oh no, I've got two. So Jaipur Soft. These are tiny little balls. They are quite small. So they're 2-ply cotton, 2-ply 100% cotton, and I sell bucket loads of these. One will make a knitted shawl, two will make a crochet shawl, and they are absolutely gorgeous, but a lot of people will tap with them. So we have them on special. They're a super duper price. And Katia Azteca is my last offering for you. And one ball will make a gorgeous textured beret that I've written a pattern for, flat or round, in this one ball. And this is 12 ply, knits up really, really fast. I knitted a beret between here and Melbourne. So what's that, 3 hours? And I'd run out, so I didn't have anything left to bring home to do when I was coming home. All right, so that's it from me. I'm absolutely cannot wait to see you all at CraftAlive. And I hope that you all subscribe to Craft TV, because some of these things will pop up continually and we'll be adding content to Craft TV. So come and see us at CraftAlive, and also on Craft TV and at the great international craft shows. So it's been a pleasure giving you a snapshot of our year coming up. Thank you, everyone, and have a great year of craft.